Hi everyone, in this video I will show how to securely expose a REST API through webMethods API Gateway using OAuth2. In the demonstration project we will use a freely available REST API and a webMethods API Gateway on cloud. For the purpose of the project we will use a freely available API from the internet. We will use in particular nugget.date. That is an API that gives you information about public holidays per country. Here we have the Swagger definition. As first step, we define the REST API importing it from the JSON Open API definition. In the native endpoint, we need to set up the REST server provider. Here we will see the list of the REST services available. To identify the incoming request from the REST clients, we need to define an application. Here we can read the API key generated. Now we need to create the policy for Holidays API. And we set as transport HTTPS as identify and authorize. We say API key for register application. For routing, here we fix setting the server. To complete the first test, we activate policy. We activate the API is already active, and we associate the application we created before. With the previous settings, we are now able to make a first test to check if we can call the REST API through the API gateway. For this test, we use Postman. Postman is a freely available API testing tool downloadable from internet. We can test the API using API key previously created when we define the application. On Postman, we create a new request. We give a name. We create a new collection and save. We can find the URL of the API REST service in API gateway. Here we have the endpoint. and we want to use this service. We go in authorization, we put API key, and we use the API key we created in the application. Yeah, we use this key, specific key, and now we can test and see if it works. Okay, we received a response from the API service. We can also test and see if we put one wrong API key, we get some answer like this, unauthorized application request. So our first test is working. This means that we are calling the API gateway, and through this we call the REST service using API key. To enable the OAuth2 authentication scheme, we need to define a scope in the local authorization server. We give a name to the scope, and it update. Now we need to map the server scope with the API scope. On this page we have map scope. Yeah, we search for the server. Yeah, for the API scope. Save. We can now modify the application definition to add the OAuth2 strategy. As a redirect URL, we use this that is specific for Postman. In scope, we search the one we used before, we defined before. Once we save, we can go in the detail and see the client ID and the client secret. We'll use this to get the token. To proceed with the test of OAuth2, we need first modify the policy associated with the API. Here we go in edit. We change identification type to OAuth2 token. We can now use Postman to test OAuth2 authentication. Here we change authorization type to OAuth2. Here we press get new access token. Yeah, we give a token name test, grant type authorization code. Here callback URL is the one we defined before. We authorize use browser. Here out URL and out access token URL are the gateway API URL plus this service for authorize and this service for get access token. Client ID and client secret are defined in the application. Now we can request the token. This page asks the user to approve the application to access the defined scope. authentication complete. Should open Postman. Okay, we received the token here and we say to Postman to use this token. Now we can try to make a request to the API gateway. The test was working well, so we have a response. We try to change also this access token to see if we have also the negative test. Yes, we have. So with this, we close the demonstration use of OAuth2 with the webMethods API gateway. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this will help to your project of use with webMethods API gateway.